The year is 1817. France, still reeling from revolution and empire, finds itself captivated by a new kind of drama, a murder mystery unfolding in the quiet town of Rodez. Imagine a crisp March morning, the chill clinging to the cobblestone streets. Word spreads like wildfire, drawing townsfolk to a grisly scene at the Aveyron River. A butcher, his face ashen, stumbles back from the water's edge. He has found something unspeakable. The body of Antoine Bernardin Fualdès, former magistrate and prominent citizen, floating lifeless and mutilated. The news of Fualdès' demise sends shockwaves through Rodez and beyond. This was not some petty theft gone wrong. This was a calculated act of violence, a murder most foul that shattered the peace of their world. Questions hung heavy in the air, mixing with the scent of fear. Who could have committed such a heinous act, and why? The answers, it seemed, lay shrouded in shadow, waiting to be unearthed. Rodez, once a picture of tranquility, transformed into a breeding ground for suspicion. The murder of Antoine Fualdès became the only topic of conversation, each whispered word laced with fear and speculation. The victim, a man of influence and stature, had his share of secrets and enemies. Could this be a political assassination, a consequence of Fualdès' past dealings? The townsfolk, hungry for answers, turned their gaze towards the shadows. Every overheard conversation, every fleeting glance became imbued with potential meaning. The weight of suspicion fell heavily on those who had crossed Fualdès' path, rivals, disgruntled associates, and even those whispered to have been involved in illicit affairs. As days turned into weeks, the pressure mounted, pushing Rodez to the brink of hysteria. The demand for justice, for someone to pay for the heinous crime, grew stronger with each passing hour. The investigation, hampered by the limitations of the time, became a tangled web of conflicting accounts and dubious motives. Several names emerged from the darkness, each casting a long shadow of suspicion. There was Etienne Bancal, a former soldier with a murky past, known to have harbored resentment towards Fualdès. Then there was the enigmatic Bastide family, innkeepers whose establishment was rumored to be a hub for clandestine meetings and illicit activities. Adding another layer to the mystery was Marianne Bach, a mysterious woman linked to the Fualdès family, her motives shrouded in secrecy. As authorities delved deeper into the lives of these suspects, a complex tapestry of relationships, grudges, and hidden agendas began to unfurl. The truth, it seemed, lay buried beneath layers of deceit, fueled by whispers and fueled by the shadows of Rodez itself. The question was, could it ever be brought to light? The Fualdès murder case was a study in ambiguity, with evidence as shifting and elusive as the river Aveyron itself. Rumors swirled like the mist clinging to the riverbank, each more outlandish than the last. There were whispers of blood-stained clothing, of hidden messages, of clandestine meetings under the cloak of darkness. Yet, concrete proof remained frustratingly out of reach. The authorities, under immense pressure to deliver justice, grappled with conflicting testimonies and circumstantial evidence. Some witnesses claimed to have seen Fualdès entering the Bastide's inn on the night of his disappearance, while others swore they saw him elsewhere entirely. The lack of a definitive murder weapon, coupled with the mutilated state of the body, only deepened the mystery. The truth, it seemed, was a slippery eel, wriggling away with every attempt to grasp it. Section 5. Inside the courtroom, a city captivated. The trial of the Fualdès suspects transformed the quaint town of Rodez into a stage for a national drama. People flocked from far and wide, eager to witness the unfolding legal spectacle. The courtroom, usually a place of somber pronouncements, became a cauldron of emotions, packed to the rafters with curious onlookers, anxious families, and shrewd journalists, all hungry for a glimpse of justice being served. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation as the accused, their faces etched with a mixture of defiance and fear, stood before the judge. Witnesses took the stand, their testimonies painting a confusing and often contradictory picture of the events leading up to Fualdès' demise. The lawyers, masters of rhetoric, weaved narratives of guilt and innocence, their words echoing through the hushed courtroom. Every gesture, every inflection, every sigh was scrutinized, analyzed, and dissected by a public desperate for answers. Section 6. The verdict, justice or vengeance. After weeks of intense legal battles, the jury reached a decision. The weight of circumstantial evidence and public pressure, it seemed, had tipped the scales of justice. 3 of the accused, Etienne Bancal, Pierre Bastide and his wife Anne Benoit were found guilty of the murder of Antoine Fualdès. The sentences were swift and brutal. Bancal, deemed the principal culprit, was condemned to death by the guillotine, while the Bastides were sentenced to hard labor for life. The pronouncement sparked outrage and disbelief among those who believed in the innocence of the accused. Was this justice served, or was it merely a desperate attempt to appease a public baying for blood? The verdict, far from bringing closure, only deepened the divisions within Rodez and beyond. The question lingered: had the right people been punished, or had an innocent life been sacrificed at the altar of public opinion? Section 7. The Aftermath, Scars on Rodez. The Fualdès Affair left an indelible mark on Rodez, a stain that time would struggle to erase. The town, once united by its rural tranquility, now found itself fractured by suspicion and mistrust. The shadow of the murder stretched long, poisoning relationships and turning neighbor against neighbor. The name Fualdès, once spoken with respect, now carried the weight of tragedy and unanswered questions. The scars of the trial ran deep, a constant reminder of the darkness that had gripped their peaceful community. The case became a cautionary tale, whispered from generation to generation, a reminder that even in the most idyllic of settings, evil could lurk beneath the surface, waiting for the opportune moment to rear its ugly head. Section 8. Echoes in the Press, a media sensation. The Fualdès murder, with its tantalizing blend of mystery, intrigue, and small-town scandal, became a national obsession. Newspapers across France, eager to capitalize on the public's insatiable appetite for sensationalism, seized upon the story, publishing lurid accounts of the crime, the trial, and the accused. The press, with its penchant for exaggeration and embellishment, transformed the Fualdès affair into a macabre spectacle, a real-life drama that unfolded on the printed page. Theories abounded, fueled by speculation and conjecture. Was it a crime of passion, a political assassination, or perhaps something even more sinister? The public, hungry for any scrap of information, devoured these accounts, their imaginations running wild with each new revelation. Section 9. The Fualdès Affair and the Death Penalty. The Fualdès case ignited a fierce debate about the death penalty in France. Bancal's execution, a brutal spectacle witnessed by a large crowd, sparked outrage among those who viewed it as a barbaric act, a stain on the nation's conscience. The case highlighted the fallibility of the justice system, the risk of condemning an innocent person based on circumstantial evidence and public pressure. The Fualdès affair became a rallying cry for abolitionists, who argued that the death penalty was not a deterrent to crime, but a cruel and irreversible punishment. The case, with its lingering doubts and unanswered questions, served as a stark reminder that the justice system, for all its pronouncements, was not infallible, and that the taking of a life in the name of justice could sometimes be the greatest injustice of all. Section 10. Lessons from the Abyss. The Fualdès murder, though a tragedy in its own right, serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of mob mentality and the fragility of justice. The case, shrouded in ambiguity and fueled by rumor, highlights how easily public opinion can be swayed by speculation, and how the pursuit of a scapegoat can overshadow the pursuit of truth. The Fualdès affair stands as a testament to the importance of due process, of careful investigation, and of resisting the urge to rush to judgment. It serves as a cautionary tale, urging us to approach such cases with a critical eye, to question assumptions, and to demand evidence over conjecture. Section 11. A Legacy of Doubt. The murder of Antoine Fualdès remains an enigma, a puzzle with missing pieces and faded clues. Did the right people face justice in the aftermath of that gruesome discovery on the banks of the Aveyron River? Or did the real perpetrators slip through the cracks, their secrets buried along with Fualdès himself? The passage of time has done little to quell the debate. The Fualdès affair, a chilling reminder of the dark side of human nature, continues to fascinate and haunt, its legacy a testament to the enduring power of mystery and the elusive nature of truth. What do you believe happened in the shadows of Rodez?